Parkersburg's new curbside recycling program is officially underway, and the mayor says early results show the rollout is going smoothly. The first pickup happened earlier this month, and more residents are still signing up. Our Cassidy Fury sat down with Mayor Tom Joyce and discussed what residents need to know.
Parkersburg's first recycling pickup under the new program was May 18th, and Mayor Tom Joyce said the biggest change is what people can recycle now and how simple it is. Joyce said he's heard mostly positive feedback from residents, though some people think the new carts are a little too big.
No, I have heard mostly positive comments and response. I think the most positive is just we have a greater number of recyclable materials.
The mayor said Parkersburg's old program had limits, like only taking clear and green glass. Now, the new provider accepts glass of any color, plus a wider range of plastics and cartons.
You know, this is a plastic similar to that the clamshells come in. I think this had some kind of cell phone. This kind of stuff plastic is now recyclable, wasn't before.
Everything goes into one covered cart, single stream recycling. No, residents don't have to separate items. Joyce said that also helps keep cardboard dry, which matters.
When cardboard got wet, it was no longer recyclable. Wet cardboard is trash. It ends up in the landfill. So these containers, or carts as the provider calls them, keep your stuff dry.
Joyce said the provider's early reports show the recycling has been clean, meaning people aren't mixing in household trash. He said if a recycling cart is filled with solid waste, it will not be picked up.
That's part of the process here. Paper drink cups are now recyclable, you know, your coffee cups, Starbucks or whatever. So I just think overall we got a much better program.
The city verified a little over 700 customers for the first pickup. Joyce said there were only about a dozen pickup day mix-ups, and more customers are expected to start in June.
Of the 700 customers, roughly a little over that were picked up the first week, I think there were 11 miscommunications where people were told their day was Monday and it was actually Friday. That's a pretty good batting average.
Joyce said residents can keep their old, smaller recycling bins if they want. If not, the city will collect them on a regular trash day in the coming weeks.
We're going to let folks keep their old bins, the small bins, if they want them. If not, put them out not next week, but the week after. Put them out on your regular trash day, and the city will collect them.
Joyce said sign-ups for recycling will remain open, though there may be short blackout periods tied to billing cycles. In Parkersburg, I'm Cassidy Fury with WTAP News.